Namaskaram, how are all of you? In this video, I'm going to address an extremely important point: demotivation. I personally went through this phase of my preparation journey of CAT, and I personally know what it feels like to have a monotonous life, to have a monotonous um preparation journey, and feeling demotivated because mock scores are not improving, others are doing better, and not knowing what will happen in the future. These are all things which get you to a point where you do not really know how to approach life. Your brain becomes a bit foggy, and you feel demotivated that is CAT really for me? Am I on the right track? Will I be able to achieve the goals I have set for myself? And these are all doubts that come at this phase of your preparation journey. And I want to address those in this video. So stay with me, okay? I have experienced this myself. I have come out of it. I've achieved 99.43 percentile in the CAT exam, which I wouldn't say is like a topper score, but it is a good score to achieve in the CAT exam. And I can share at least a thing or two which might help you in your journey as well. So stay with me and let's go through the video. The first things first is mock scores. It is something which I also wanted to share that look, mock scores not improving is not a bad thing. Essentially, the way mock scores improve, to put it bluntly, is it is not a linear form of growth. That is, each mock you improve something. That is not how it goes, because you might be giving one mock today and the second mock maybe 2 days later and 3 days later maybe, and in 3 days, let me tell you, it's very less amount of time, and improvements in 3 days is not a lot. So you might find that for 5 consecutive mocks you're not able to score well, or at least score better than what your highest score was. And it might even be 10 consecutive mocks. For me, it was, I think, 8 consecutive mocks. Every time I scored 8 consecutive mocks at the same level, or sometimes even worse. But there was an improvement. So the way mock scores improve is, it improves, then it stays constant for a while, it suddenly improves again, it stays constant for a while. So if your scores are not improving, you might just be on the plateau and your improvement is very near. So do not be demotivated with mock scores at this point in time. Personally, I was scoring, I think, 50 to 60 marks at the highest at this point in my preparation journey. So don't worry and don't think that this is something which you're not on track if you're getting low scores. It's not the point. I myself was getting 60 as the highest score, and on an average, I was getting 45 to 50 marks at this point in my preparation journey. So don't worry if you're not able to score high, okay? And if you are able to score high, aim higher. Why not? But I know for a lot of people who are not able to score high, this seems demotivating. It's not. Just know this. That's one. The second thing is, look, I know it becomes monotonous. It becomes one schedule which you're following every single day, trying to get ahead in life, but you might not be able to see some improvements. Some people see some improvements. Sometimes you get a whiff of improvement, but other times you're just practicing, practicing, and practicing. You are going behind your goals, and I know it is tough. I know that you have to put in the hours. You're putting in a lot of effort, and it's tough. It pains you. I know all of this. And just know this one factor: it is worth it in the end. In the end, it will be worth it. When you get that shortlist email, when you get that email that you have been shortlisted and you are selected to get into that top IIM or that top business school, it will all be worth it. So, for now, stay on track. It's important that you stay on track. Even though you're putting in a lot of efforts and there's a lot going on, you should just know that you have a one pointed goal to get or to score well in the CAT 2025 exam. Okay, let me also give you something which I personally used to stay on track, which was I used a system where every single day I used to write down on a diary 10 times that my goal is that I'm going to get a 99 percentile on the 24th of November 2024 in the CAT exam. And that is the exact date that the CAT exam was held last year. This year it's probably different. So you have to cater your own goal, your own aim towards yourself, and then you have to write that down on your diary every single day, at least 10 times in the morning, right in the morning. It's not an evening job, it's a morning thing. You get up and you write it first. This is extremely important because this primes your mind and this gives you an understanding that okay, this is the only thing that I'm focusing on for the next couple of months. And it's, trust me, it's very important that you do this because a lot of times demotivation takes over, a lot of times stress takes over, and it's at that point when your mind needs that one extra push, and it needs to know that look, whatever be the case, my goal is to get this for myself. And it does help. So try that out, at least try that out. Don't believe in something, but try it out. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't work, leave it after 7 days, but trust me, it will work. Okay, that's the second thing. Third, social media. This is one thing which took me some time to get out of, but I eventually had to. Social media is something, especially reels or short format content, is something which you go through and it becomes so difficult to get out of because it's very addictive. But the issue is, if you're spending your time on reels, it takes a lot of mental energy out of you. The energy which you could have used to get better in your scores in your mocks, you could have used that energy towards your goal which you have set for yourself, which you are not able to use. So that is something which causes, scientifically speaking, the dopamine hits which you keep getting through reels or short format content, it reduces your own motivation, so it's for the worse. If you are targeting a good score in CAT, you need to give it your all. You need every small nook and cranny which you need to hang on to as a strategy so you can get up. So, this is one thing which you need to take care of. If you are addicted, don't tell this to anybody else. Just assess yourself, audit yourself, and know if you are addicted or not. If you are, be truthful to yourself that you are addicted and you need to get out of this. And how do you get out? Some people like to just go cold turkey and just stop watching reels, delete the Instagram or the Facebook or whatever app that is. Some people like to phase it out and slowly reduce it. I personally like to just stop it once and for all. I stopped it for the 4 months of preparation that I did. I think for 3 months I stopped it. Initially, I couldn't stop it, but once I stopped it, I just stopped. And let me tell you what happens when you stop. When you suddenly stop for the next 7 days, it is an extremely, extremely difficult journey to not get that dopamine hit again. But trust me, after those 7 days, it feels like heaven on earth because you get so much of energy, you get so much of a boost that you feel like you have so much to do. You can do so much. You get a lot of motivation. So these are things which are small things, but will impact you in a very big manner if you can take care of it. So try it. All right. That was third. Fourth, you need a break sometimes. Sometimes you're just working so hard for so long, maybe 15, 20 days, you have worked extremely hard, and you are zapped out, you are burnt out. And it is at that point you should know that you need to give yourself some break. And a break looks like a 1 day guilt free, no studying break. That is what a break looks like. And give it to yourself. I'm telling you, you deserve it, and it will improve your productivity. It will at least 10x, 20x your productivity when you start the next day. but give yourself that break sometimes, because I personally, trust me, I needed it. Okay, I was working so hard towards my goals, towards getting a 99 percentile, that I was burnt out. Trust me. And at that point, I had decided, okay, let me take a guilt free break. And trust me, I came back on track and it felt amazing. Okay. The next day, it just felt amazing that, okay, I had one day of pure break and I can get back on my schedule towards my goals. And it feels amazing after that. But if you're burnt out, give yourself that small gap in preparation. You need it. Okay. Fifth, you need a schedule of keeping your body and your mind healthy. And with that, I mean, you should do some yoga or gymming or some exercises, whatever works for you. Do something for your body, because you're sitting on your chair the whole day trying to prepare for your mocks or going for your job and then preparing for your cat exam. Whatever you are doing, you're sitting on a chair and just keeping and just doing your work. So you need something to have a healthy body, and it is paramount that you do it because it also affects your brain. That's one. Second is to have mental peace and to have a good mental health. You need to speak to whoever is close to you. If your parents are close to you, for me, I was speaking to my parents, and in a day, probably 15-20 minutes, I was speaking to them. Without any other thing in my mind, I used to come out and just speak to them. Sometimes even 30 minutes, 1 hour. But trust me, those that 1 hour or the 30 minutes of speaking to them, it relieved me of my stress of the complete day. So if you are somebody who is not doing something like that, maybe with your close ones, maybe with your relatives, maybe with your grandpa, grandma, or maybe with your parents, speak to somebody. And just because you lose that social aspect otherwise, there's a social aspect to a human being where you can talk with somebody, you lose that aspect. A lot of people might not need it, but most people do. And um, I was speaking to my parents. So if you do it and if you find that it gives you some more solace, use it for yourself. Whatever helps you towards your goal, use it. It's not a distraction if it helps you do better. You understand? So use it. That is another thing. Apart from that, recognize what other things can help you. So for me, let me ask you this. Would you consider gaming on a laptop something which is a distraction? I reckon yes, you should consider as a distraction at this moment in time, at least, right? But I'll tell you what used to happen with me. Just after eating in the afternoon, just after lunch, I used to feel very sluggish. I used to feel like I need to sleep. And to counter that, what I used to do was every day after lunch, I used to play a game for an hour or so, and it used to get me out of my sleep zone. So I should not sleep at that point, and because I was not sleeping, my mind used to become active within an hour or so, and I could start studying again. Otherwise, I would have slept for 2 hours. Now I am gaming for an hour and then studying for an hour. So no, do this cost benefit analysis in your mind and see what works for you. Gaming can become something positive for you if you use it for your goals. All right, and don't take it in a manner where you're saying that, okay, look, Shavik is somebody who was gaming and he could still do it better. I'm also going to game for 3-4 hours a day and do better. Don't take it in that manner. Use it. Be truthful to yourself. That is the most important part of it. It's very difficult to be truthful to yourself as to whether you're gaming because you love it or whether you're gaming because your goal is to study after it. So be truthful and use small tricks, whatever small tricks help you to study better. The next thing is keep your study space organized. So trust me on this when I say this. If your study space is not organized, your mind is not organized. Your study space or the space around you is a reflection of how your mind functions. Otherwise, you would have kept things organized. If your mind functions in a very organized manner, you would like organized stuff. If you are not organized in your mind, you will be okay with not having things organized in front of you. So try to organize things, try to have a good, neat study table, try to study at a place where things are well organized. Do that, it's extremely important. Okay. And finally, get some support from your loved ones. Tell them that, okay, look, I don't want any distractions for this amount of time when I'm going to study, and I'm not going to talk with you at these points in time. I'm not going to do any other work which is required of me, because I need to study for the next few months to essentially achieve the goal that I've set for myself. So these are a few things which I wanted to share, which might help you at this point in time. And of course, there are a few more things. You can watch YouTube videos of people like me who have already cracked it, or you can watch YouTube videos of cat coaching centers who are producing some great content, and you can really get some motivation out of that as well. So you can watch them as well, and you can get some motivation from other kinds of self help, I'm sorry, YouTube videos as well. So you can do a lot of things, but make sure that at this juncture in your preparation, you stay focused and you are motivated towards your goal. You have to ensure that you do whatever that is possible to keep yourself on track, because this is the time where most cat aspirants start doubting themselves, start feeling that this is not for them, and go off track. So if you can be on track at this point, you will, trust me, you will cover miles. You will get a lot ahead of the other half. So that is all for this video. I hope you got some amount of motivation and a direction as to how should you cater to your demotivation or your mental health or your physical health. How should you really construe a good daily routine or a weekly routine of your preparation. I hope that there's some kind of direction which you got from this. I'll meet you in the next video. All the very best to all of you. Namaskaram. Do well. As always, I'm rooting for you and I'm watching from afar. Goodbye.